Welcome to Tables, Ladders, and Bumps, a pro wrestling podcast where we talk about wrestling promotions like WWE and AEW. We give tinfoil theories and debate pressing subjects in the world of wrestling, all under 60 minutes. I'm Marlon. I'm joined by Pierre and Wade. Before we get into it, go ahead and drop a Death Valley driver on that subscribe button, on that like button. We're trying to get to 500 subscribers before the end of the year. Help us out. Tell a friend. Share it with somebody. Today's topics of discussion for What's Poppin' include the road to WrestleMania. No. Take it back. Today's topics for What's Poppin' include men's War Games results, the New Day, and then for What's Poppin', damn. So for the three count, we got Karrion Kross, we got the road to WrestleMania, and lots more. And we even have an unboxing because Wade is going to cash in his money in the bank. So we're going to get right into that. So let's get it started with What's Poppin'.
Exactly. No pop.
Pop. Goddamn.
Pop.
I'm going to go ahead and start off What's Poppin' with the men's War Games match. Now, as much as I love the Bloodline, I really wasn't excited for this match. Going into it, there's a lot of great factors, a lot of great wrestlers in here, a lot of good story, but for some reason, I just wasn't feeling it. However, I want to get your guys' opinions, but I will say by the end of the match, it was like a slow clap of like, okay, they just did that and they opened up a lot more storyline for the year to come. But what did you guys think about the men's War Game match?
You cool me going wait?
You go.
Actually, dude, it was a good watching a good story behind it. Like I watched the OG Bloodline pretty much get beat down for the majority of the match. Not really being a cohesive unit. I like the interaction between Punk and Roman in the cage, waiting to come out. But then it started like to pick up. Jimmy Uso hitting that corkscrew moonsault, him doing the splash. You got Bronson Reed tipping the tsunami from the top of the cage. They wanted to completely kill Roman Reigns. I mean, the things that these guys put their bodies through, and just for the sake of the story, it was good. I mean, even the Tama Tonga coming out just being just a psychopath. Doing his in the middle of the ring, but crawling across the cage, doing that, it's just chaotic and just this is a psycho, man. No, I really enjoyed it. I enjoy what the possibilities that are going to come out of this in the future. So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I liked. Were you done, Pierre? I didn't want to step on your Johnson there. I thought it was good. I thought the action in this, I don't know if I liked it as much as the women's once the actual match started, the prior to the match. That was almost so bad I enjoyed it. But like honestly, the Tama Tonga thing, that kind of hyped me up. Like him just being a weirdo. Jacob Fatu is just awesome. The no sell of it, CM Punk uses the toolbox to take everyone out, and then it just he just no sells it like an absolute animal. I feel bad for Bronson Reed. I hope it's not serious injury from the ankles, because I feel like, and honestly, them CM Punk pulling Roman out of that, like they must have felt the wind from Bronson Reed, because they were so close. Like I couldn't believe how much they pushed it, like pulling him out of there. That was like 10 out of 10 timing. I thought that was really, really good. But I feel like Bronson Reed, if they would have actually kept him there, probably wouldn't have gotten hurt. So that's the thing that kind of sucks when you do a spot like that, where if someone's actually on the table, you're kind of hit the person and then probably hit your feet, most likely, where you're just gonna either
go right
slam
through.
on your yeah, go right through on your belly or snap your ankles.
Yeah.
Uh,
Or break your leg.
yeah, or break your leg like Edge. So yeah, I don't know. Sometimes they do some of these spots, and I was the one asking for the tsunami. I'm like, I need to see that spot, but I wanted to see him actually hit the tsunami. So, yeah, I just feel bad for him. I hope it's just looks worse than it is. Because sometimes you
Yeah.
watch like NBA and it looks like someone like snapped their leg in half, and they just like LeBron's the king of that. It's like, oh, he's playing the next like 5 minutes. You don't even know how he's doing anything. So. Yeah, I liked it a lot though. It was really good. I'm not as obsessed with some of the like, oh my gosh, Roman stop CM Punk. Like the people who get obsessed with that, I just kind of laugh at. I don't know. I think it's like a little bit cheesy. Like they act like it's,
Yeah.
you mean, uh, freaking East of Eden or something with the story, and it's like, all right, it's like good for wrestling, but like, let's chill a little bit. Uh, but yeah, that's all I got.
Yeah, I feel like there were some spots in that match that really took it to the next level. That just how close it was for getting Roman off of the table by the time the tsunami splash came. I don't know if you guys saw the short that WWE posted. They got like the backside angle of Bronson Reed entering the shot, and it's like it really does look like an action movie of like the exploding background as the action star jumps into the air. So I love that spot, and Jimmy showing out, unfortunately breaking his toe, but
Yeah.
Jimmy showing out with the splash, which was great.
He'll
And
survive with
also
the toe.
is better than a leg.
Yeah.
Um, and then also hitting the go to sleep on Jacob Fatu, and I thought it was cool how Solo's ring awareness, him pulling the table out before anybody got hurt. That was really cool. So all in all, great storytelling.
Mhm.
Again, we don't know what CM Punk has in his pocket to what card he's going to pull with Paul Heyman in the future, but I love how this opened it up for the next year.
Oh, can I point out one thing real quick?
Yeah,
Solo. I love that ending with Solo.
Yeah.
To me,
yeah,
it reminded me of Scarface.
yep,
Tony Montana at the end, taking on everybody. This is my end, but I'm gonna go out as hard as I can. Pause and
yep,
blaze of glory.
yep.
And I love how that ended. Um, but yeah, that's the one thing I wanted to point out. That man, I know we was tough on Solo for a while, but I feel like by this point I can feel like he's more himself. The personality, it feels more natural than it has before. So I just want to give him props for that.
Yeah, no, I agree. He took it like a champ.
I do want to bring up one thing. At the end of the match, why did they have it go on for like 5 minutes filming him? Like they like really like kind of blue balled us on that. Like all I think
Yeah,
everyone thought there was gonna be like
The
some
Rock
type
is
of
in it.
thing, but it
Oh
like went
yeah.
longer than it went for CM
Yep.
Punk last year. Like
Yep.
I was like, what is going on here? And they just kept
Hmm.
filming it and filming it, and there was no value to it at all. It was just to tease me, which
Yeah.
I'm not like a particularly big fan of, because I just kept watching the stupid thing, being like, "Oh, who's coming? Oh, is someone gonna come up behind him?" No, uh, it's like a horror movie without anything happening. So
Keep you guessing, man.
Yeah.
Keep you guessing. All right, so that's my what's popping for this week. Pierre, what do you have for what's popping?
I want to get into for my what's popping is the opening segment for Monday Night Raw. We knew CM Punk was
Oof.
coming out, to open the show, which was cool. Didn't know.
Hmm.
Well, I like that CM Punk has already called his shot to WrestleMania.
Hmm.
And when has that happened to where a guy pretty much has a golden ticket? He doesn't have to go through the Rumble. He doesn't have to go through the Elimination Chamber. He pretty
Yep.
much said that I got a main event match at Mania.
The
So,
Rock.
yep, yeah,
It's true.
Sorry.
but, yeah.
He's
Facts.
I'm here
but
All
for it.
but
facts.
putting yourself at the level of The Rock is like something for sure.
Yeah. So it makes me also think like, well, how will he get to WrestleMania? And what will be that main event for him? Because we know that it's John Cena's final year, so we got the farewell tour. I can imagine Johnson not having a main event match at WrestleMania. This is his last match of WrestleMania or whatever, you know. Cody, Roman, etc., etc. You know, then they go in lead into that to have Seth Rollins come back out. And now we seem like we about to get back into the Seth Rollins CM Punk feud again. And it's like, all right, we've been waiting for this for like over a year. That they tussle, Sammy, Jay come out. Then you get Sammy and Seth going back and forth. I mean, it was just, I don't know, man. I just felt like that was like one of the better segments of Monday Night Raw, like opening the show in a minute. What did you guys think?
You want to go, Marlon? I know you were super
Yeah,
hyped about this.
yeah, I thought it was perfection. I think this is what makes WWE stand out compared to any other promotion. Just when they execute like this, they don't always execute like this, but when they do, it's like, okay, this is the best of the best, top of the food chain, cream of the crop type of situation with CM Punk coming out, telling him he's going to shoot his shot or he's aiming his eyes on the prize. Seth Rollins interrupting, and you're like one of you guys mentioned, it's oh damn, like this rivalry was supposed to be last year. Because remember, Seth got pissed at CM Punk's return,
Yeah.
and they were supposed to have CM Punk go for the gold in some way versus Seth Rollins. It was awesome. And then their transition to Sami Zayn from Jey Uso and Sami breaking up the fight. I'm like, this is absolute masterclass right here. And I know I use that a lot, but it really was great. And I'll bring this up later on for my segment, but there's a lot of ties to the bloodline and to Roman Reigns with all of this. And I think that's really remarkable for them to keep it going this long and also stay relevant. So I loved it. Yeah, I don't really have anything else more to say about it. Go ahead, Wade.
Yeah, I thought it was really strong opening, like about as good of an opening as you could have. And I haven't really liked CM Punk very much in WWE. I liked him a lot more in AEW personally. And this won't touch like the CM Punk MJF feud as much as people will want it to. It's
Mm-hmm.
just you have two people like Seth. I feel like has been doing a really good job when he interacts with Punk. He's actually been impressing me a lot because
Mm-hmm.
I generally don't like his character almost ever. So I'm impressed that I'm kind of drawn into this because just Seth being in it kind of bothers me usually. And I know he's a good wrestler. Just all of his promos and everything, it just something about him I can't get into it for some reason.
Yeah.
Uh and then I feel like I'm the only person because like as Sammy gets involved and I'm like this makes me dislike Sammy more and I'm like the one person that doesn't like again Sammy's awesome in the ring as a babyface. He plays like a babyface in the ring as good as you can. But his character really freaking bugs me for some reason. The holier than thou person who's like siding with Roman,
Yeah.
who's an a-hole. And me and Pierre talked about this last week. We're like, Solo hasn't done anything worse than Roman. There's
Mm-hmm.
like no, like, Roman's still not apologized.
Mm-hmm.
There's, he's still a bad guy. It's just Solo
Yeah.
took the Ulafala from him. Technically, I don't see how he did it illegally either. If the like head people of the family want him to be the tribal chief, I just all of that is like very weird. And for Sammy to be like the baby face, I that's my one thing with this story. I'm like I feel like I have to like just accept a lot of stuff that doesn't make sense to like be like oh yeah Roman's a baby face because he's still an a
Yeah.
hole.
You
Yeah.
see, I
Roman
think the
hasn't
one
done
thing
anything of altruism. He just
I
wants
think,
to his Ula follow back.
but I also think that the one thing that's been great about this, even with that, there seems like to be a loophole in the storyline with like Sami Zayn or even like Cody or whatever. You get people like Seth and you get people like KO who call these guys out on it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what is your reason for even being here with them?
Yeah, it's
He
true.
had did him for Seth to even point that out again, like you're back. You're not even family. I get Jay. I get Jimmy.
Yeah.
You're not family. What is your purpose of being here? He treated you like trash, and then you're back. Why? Like, are you
Yeah.
stupid? So I think that helps that part. It'd be I think it would be a bigger issue if they never address they never had someone point out the obvious of
Yeah.
this is
Yeah.
it.
That's
So
I guess, yeah, with the story, I can't tell if them getting me to side with Seth and KO is like they want people to feel that way or it's bad storytelling. I cannot tell which way, which I guess is fine because
Pretty
I'm
good.
getting annoyed significantly watching it. Like I'm like, does anyone else hate Sammy? Like not only and I'm biased because he like took. I still think it should have been Chad Gable at
mhm.
WrestleMania, but
Yeah.
like that whole thing and like I mean we were in the crowd at Mania. Most people weren't even rooting for him against
Yep.
Goon. So I don't know. I think he's so good that the crowd will still stay with him, but I think there's a risk of because Sammy looks the most ridiculous in this, in my opinion.
Hmm.
Like if
Hmm.
I'm siding with Seth Rollins, then there's probably there's a significant flaw in your character, in
Yeah.
my opinion.
Sammy's only doing it to help out Jay, and Jay's only doing it to help out Jimmy, and Jimmy's only doing it to help out Roman to take out Solo because of what they did and what Solo did. I mean,
Yeah, but
that's how I see
that's like
it.
how World War One started though. So like is that like necessarily like positive? It's like, oh, I have an alliance with this person, they have an alliance with that person, and they have an alliance with that person. All right, we're just gonna kill each other. I guess that's realistic though.
Yeah.
And Marlon, you froze out, so I could take over a bit if you're
Shoot.
um so that was
Can you
did
can you guys hear me now?
yeah,
Yeah.
you're good. Your thing's
Okay.
fine now.
Yeah, yeah. So go ahead and do your three count. Or your what's popping,
Yes.
sorry.
So for my what's poppin', I was going to do the New
TLC.
Day segment. Yeah, no,
Oh my
Pure Fusion
gosh.
Collective want to talk about how much I love their storyline. No, I want to talk about the New Day segment that out of all the ways in my head of how I thought they might do it, this never once like came through my head that oh they're just gonna have both of them turn heel and be
Dude,
a-holes to Big
so
E,
good.
who like I've met in person and he is like the nicest
Yeah.
person. Like everyone likes him, I know that, but like I've met him too, and of all the like WWE superstars I met, he's by far like just the nicest. Like goes completely out of his way to be like really cool. And man,
Feel bad? Did you feel bad for him?
a little bit, yeah, I even felt bad for him. Even though like they when they brought the Kurt Angle thing, I'm like, hey, that's a good point. Like an Edge, I was like, yeah, man, they just I'm gonna buy some New Day merch whenever they come out with a heel New Day because I'm hyped on how big of a-holes they are. That was a really cool choice, I thought. And I don't know if either of you guys predicted that they would have Kofi turn heel too. I don't think.
I
Nope.
I I kind of felt that way because everyone kept saying that Kofi was going to turn on Woods.
Yeah.
Everyone thought that Kofi was the real heel in this, and I was like, man, just from I mean, granted, they can do whatever they want in wrestling storylines and stuff like that, but I always knew that the New Day didn't want to split up as a whole, so
Yeah.
I couldn't see them splitting that way. I thought it would be cool to have them because Kofi turns heel and Wood stays face or whatever, and then that's just it. There's no more after that. That just
Yeah, they
fizzles out,
just have a
you
match
know.
at WrestleMania realistically
Yeah,
would be the.
Right.
they just fizz out. So I like the idea of Kofi joining in, like, and it wasn't that I thought Woods would convince Kofi. They just kind of convinced. They kind of clicked themselves together. It was like a whole like fusion thing, man. So the week prior, they had Dragon Ball Z gear. Kofi was Goku, and I think Woods was a version of Vegeta. And
Yeah.
maybe I'm just jumping into something just crazy now, but that's what it just felt like in from the segment. Like they just fused together, and it just turned on E. So that's kind of how I'm seeing it like that way. It wasn't like Woods had to convince Kofi to do anything. It was like, you know what, man, yeah, you did. Forget about us. You left us. I mean, and it's all. Oh man, I'm gonna be a whole thing. Wait, I'm sorry.
Oh no, no, you're good. Like no, yeah, I just didn't. I could have seen them somehow double turning heel. I just didn't think it would be like we're gonna like because the way they did it, I thought was masterful too. It's like E comes out, and I'm like, ah, okay, they're gonna stay together, and then he says the like, oh, I'll be your manager, and I'm like, ah, okay, like, and I was kind of a little bit disappointed, but
Mhm.
I'm like, oh, okay, a lot of people are gonna be happy, and then they just like
I was gonna
go,
be happy. I
yeah,
was gonna
go,
be happy.
they just go in on him.
Yeah,
I kept waiting for him to be like, psych, you know what I mean? Like, be like,
yeah.
oh, we're just kidding. But man, it is a bold move. They're gonna get booed out
I
of
mean, that's good.
every
Yeah,
like it, which is good since Dom finally got cheered this week.
yeah.
So
Right.
Remember, I told you I think they're going. I thought they were going to want to make him face soon. I kept waiting for Woods to super kick E. I thought that was that. I thought that
I
was going to
know,
be
yeah.
that. I had a feeling that was going to be it. Um, so the segment was great, but I feel like after watching KO, like his reasoning from being heel, because he had legitimate reason. Roman Reigns hit him with a golf cart. Roman Reigns him and Jey Uso threw him into a table. They gave him like 2,000 super kicks in the middle of the Royal Rumble ring, handcuffed him. I get why KO's upset, and that I feel like that's valid. So when Kofi and Woods are putting out these reasons, especially like, yo, you broke your neck, you never came back. You got a girlfriend, and you forgot about us. And I'm like, man, that's kind of petty. But if we're going with, hey, you want to be petty, then that's cool. But I don't know, when I compare the two heels, I'm like, I just really love what KO is doing, and it is too because I didn't want the New Day. I wanted the New Day to be a whole, so I'm still kind of heartbroken right now.
KO's like story is like a 10 out of 10 right now with Cody, I
Yeah,
think.
Hmm.
And I think this is more detestable, this one,
New Day.
with the New Day. Yeah, this is
Yeah,
like we're supposed to
yeah,
legit hate them because it's like, okay, yeah, I mean, you kind of there's enough that you could understand where they're coming from because
yeah.
it's
I do that too.
you
Yeah,
waited 2 years to be our manager and you've been doing like commentary stuff. It's not like you couldn't have been offering to do this the whole time, to be
you've been
honest.
commentating. You've been watching us go back and forth. You've been watching us feud. You've been watching us lose. You have said nothing in this whole 2 years of us going through this roller coaster of not having you around and us suffering. And now, yes, like you say, all of a sudden now, when we get ready to on the verge of breaking up, I can see it both ways. So
And
yeah,
even though this isn't necessarily a good excuse, like, well, I got surgery on my Achilles tendon. It came completely off. You didn't even get surgery. There's just like small things that
Yep.
it's
yeah,
hard to compare neck stuff, but like to a random person, you're like, oh, he didn't even get surgery. There's like enough stuff that you could
yeah,
see someone who's
Yeah.
kind of like lost their mind will
yeah,
like, because a crazy person like or someone that's bad will like they'll have some good excuses, but then some ass excuses too.
yeah.
That like that's like, oh, you got a girlfriend and stopped hanging out with us type of thing. Like your girlfriend makes terrible food. Like just
Oh,
stupid
I love
stuff.
that. I love
You
that.
saw that on Twitter, like them talking. Oh, I won't have to eat your bland ass food. Uh, yeah. So I was just all about this, and yeah, I didn't see it coming, but I mean, Pierre's Nostradamus, so he did. But uh, Marlon, what did you think about this? About the
Yeah, I was totally into it. This is one of the reasons why I watch wrestling. Obviously, there's action in the ring, physical action, but just storylines like this, I'm like, man, this could be a drama on any given premium network at this point because it
all
was
right,
just such, it was
let's not
so
go.
good.
Stop Breaking Bad. Like, let's chill a little bit.
No,
But
I'm saying like
I know I'm
I'm
messing with you. I'm messing with.
I'm invested in the stories and the characters, and this is a part of professional wrestling.
Mhm.
And this was like I'm hooked. I don't really care for the New Day on any other day, on any given day. But I'm like, okay, like with the montage plus the celebration plus Big E's like first or one of his probably his first in-ring return, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Um, and then they do him dirty like that. And
Man.
then when Xavier Woods said, why don't you just stop leading us on and tell the crowd that you're not even ever going to get medically cleared? I'm like, exactly. He's not ever going to get medically cleared. And I'm glad I liked how they revealed it that way to the general audience.
Yeah.
So just great, great,
Yeah.
great storytelling. So yeah.
His facial expressions were so good too.
Oh,
Like he looked like someone like kicked his dog.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yep,
He really sold all of that, man. Like he did a great job with that.
yep.
I feel like as a wrestler, not like, but me just like thinking like because I'm trying to learn how to wrestle. I feel like in his mental state of like, man, this is the end of this group. I feel like he was able to harness kind of put himself in that mental place to like show the feeling of them being a-holes to him, but he was, you mean, probably mentally just thinking about, man, I can't believe the New Day's like, you know what I mean? I feel
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
but he did such a good job with that. I was like, I felt bad for him, man, and I don't usually feel bad for any wrestler. Like I always root for the heels. Like
Yeah.
generally, I love when baby faces get made fun of or people try to like torture them. So yeah, I if you get me to feel bad, that's you're doing a good job. So that's all I got, Marlon.
All right. Before we move on to the 3 count, let us know what you guys thought about the men's war games. Was it as good and hyped up as they made it to be? What do you think about the New Day staying together but breaking up at the same time? Crazy, crazy, crazy. And also, is Sami Zayn a justified for helping out Roman Reigns and the OG bloodline, and aligning himself with them? All right, let us know in the comments. Let's get into the 3 count. I'm going to start this 3 count off with all the booking that's going on, especially for the main guys at the top, and particularly the guys, because everybody, again, as I said, is like tied in with the bloodline at this point. But what do you guys think about people saying the road to WrestleMania has begun? It's usually Royal Rumble time that goes into WrestleMania. But I also agree with the sentiment that, look, this is because of all the booking and because of all the storylines that are intertwined, that I'm already forecasting or thinking fantasy booking WrestleMania right now, main events, championships, all that stuff. So, do you guys think that we are on the road to WrestleMania? And if so, why or why not?
Go ahead, wait.
Well, CM Punk said we are because he pointed at the sign that wasn't the imaginary sign. But I feel like they've done a way better job this year
Yeah,
than last year. Like last year, this point it like Survivor Series kind of ass. You know what
yeah,
I mean? Other than CM Punk being revealed, but it was like Judgment Day versus baby faces and
Yeah.
we're kind of like, oh, all right, whatever. But now there's a bunch of matches I want to see that
yeah,
and I don't know if it's because I've been way more into WWE for a whole other year at this point, but I just like CM Punk. Who the heck is he gonna wrestle?
yeah,
Gunther. I don't even. Will he have the belt? Like probably not. Who does he go against?
Yeah.
yeah,
Uh, you have Cody Rhodes. Like, is The Rock still hasn't shown up? What's going on with that? His
right.
stuff with Kevin Owens is hot as hell.
Yeah.
Sami Zayn might have a feud with like there's a bunch of people he might have a feud with. There's a lot going on, and I'm super New Day who that they're going to be up for a big match at WrestleMania for the tag belts,
Yep.
100% chance. So
Mm.
there's a lot of stuff that I actually want to see. Women's, I they've done a terrible job with that. Like that's like
Yeah,
I think worse this year,
yeah,
because last year I felt that there was all the damage control stuff where they told a good story of Bailey was like did like saving everyone at Survivor Series, and I thought that story in the match was really good, and it was a matter of time before they screwed her over. But this year it's like I guess they still have the Liv and Rhea stuff, but I'm over that. Think
Hmm.
everyone is.
Hmm.
And then you got the Tiffany has the money in the bank, but is that good storytelling necessarily? Like she just has money in the bank and is gonna cash it in. I don't know. I feel like that's worse than last year in my opinion.
Mhm.
Um, but the men's is way better. What do
Yeah.
you think? What do you think, Pierre?
No, man, I agree. Like, I felt like even before Monday, Punk pointed at the imaginary sign, we were already fantasy booking WrestleMania.
Hmm.
We still was like, man, well, we know The Rock has to come back, right? Well, whatever. We would think The Rock was going to come back. So, was he going to have a match with Cody Rhodes? Was he going to have a match with Roman Reigns? We know we still got John Cena. This is Farewell Tour. I
I
mentioned it
keep
earlier.
forgetting about that. Yeah.
Hmm.
So we know he got to have a match. So what's the best way to end John Cena's WrestleMania or career or whatever it is? Would he have a match against Randy Orton?
Yeah.
Because that's his his peer. Or will Orton go against Cody Rhodes? Because that's the story that we're still waiting for. Is that
Yep.
Um,
Rematch of Austin Theory, maybe.
you mentioned
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I got you off.
you mentioned like Gunther. Like I mean, we're doing all this talking about everyone else, and we forgot the world heavyweight champion Gunther.
Yeah.
Like where would he be at this point? Would they bring Brock Lesnar back to have a match against him? Would they? Oh, they don't bring
Yeah.
Goldberg back, but
I would take that for a 5 minute match.
Goldberg versus Gunther.
I would take that and him beat up Goldberg's son. That'd be sick.
But see, like we got all these. I mean, still Finn, Dom, Damian Priest, like those guys. I think all those guys will still be involved in WrestleMania. We talked about, excuse me, Rhea versus Dom for the longest. Like we
That's
thought that match
that's the
was
real
going to
match
happen.
for Rhea. I think that should be the
So
main
like,
one.
even that possibility, like that, we've already been fantasy booking, and the role for WrestleMania has already started. It
Hmm.
sucks that the women's story hasn't built at all, really, to get to WrestleMania. Um, like I said, the only thing I still got is that I got Tiffany Stratton versus Charlotte at WrestleMania.
Yeah. Yep.
You know, um, and possibly Jay versus Bianca, but who knows? But yeah, I think it's had already been started for me.
Yep.
Yeah. Io Sky
Yeah.
needs a big match.
Yeah,
100%. She's the most over person other than Rhea, but like for their wrestling, she anytime Io's in like even a terrible match, like or she's in a multi-person, she gets in and like the crowd just is so into her because she's so captivating to watch. I hope they
Yeah.
give her the belt. I'm kind of over this. Like Liv's had the belt for 6 months, man,
It's been
and
locked up,
it's
man.
hasn't had a single good match. So
hmm
Right.
I'm kind of like over it, but.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. We're on the road. And last year didn't feel like that, I think.
No, not at all.
yeah,
Not at all. Last year it was like when The Rock came back, obviously there was that whole debacle with storyline. There's a whole documentary on it you can watch. But,
yeah,
The Rock coming back, I think it was what really set things in motion. And now it's like anything could happen, especially amongst the men.
yeah.
Anything can happen amongst the women, but none of us have a damn clue of how they're going to book them.
The belts,
Because
yeah, the belts make it
yeah,
interesting.
exactly, exactly. So yeah, that's what I thought. Who had the next topic? Was it?
I
It was
can go.
Go
yeah.
ahead. Yeah,
Yeah, so we got I know some of you who watch this don't watch AEW, but like there's also the Continental Classic that's going on right now. That's honestly, in my opinion, in watching a tournament, I like that style where it has the soccer style where
Hmm.
you get points, everyone wrestles each other in a pool, and then they do like one in one bracket versus two in the other bracket and two versus like, and then they cross bracket. And I think it's a really cool way to do a tournament. And there's just, you can't predict as much because you don't know since it's a point system it's kind of cool how you could have someone have a huge lead and be like dominating a pool and then just kind of get their asses whooped like two matches in a row and kind of be out of it, or someone start off slow and lose a match but then still end up winning the belt and stuff.
So you mean you don't want to see 18 triple threat matches?
Yeah, that's what kind of what I wanted to get into. Yeah, because I'm kind of over the triple threat matches. It's like we knew he was gonna do this, right? Like we
Yeah.
knew, oh, they're doing another belt. Uh, we always joke that it's either going to be a Royal Rumble or triple threat matches, and luckily it's been triple threat matches this time. But I feel like the roster's even better on Raw, but they're like saving a lot of people from these IC matches that they just put everyone in them in SmackDown because they have such a small roster.
Yeah.
Because Io's not in it. I don't think is Raquel in it. I think
Yeah,
she is.
yeah, she's
Raquel
in.
is.
Yeah.
So someone's gonna interfere and screw her over. But yeah, I'm kind of over the triple threat thing, and it's like most of these are so predictable that
Hmm.
it like this first match, we knew it was like Dakota Kai and Shayna. It's like, okay, whoever wins this is making it out of this side of the
Yeah.
bracket, realistically. What are we doing after that? I don't know. What do you
Yeah.
guys think about all these tournaments? And
Um,
what do you think about the idea of how AEW does the Continental Classic? Do you guys like that idea?
I do like that idea, and I wish that there was another way that WWE would do it other than a battle royale or a triple threat. They're doing triple threat obviously because they have so many people on the roster, but gosh, make something a bit more creative.
mhm.
Um, like like leading up to Iron Survivor and NXT,
Oh,
right?
Iron Survivor is so sick. Yeah.
Hell yeah, and the
Yeah.
candidates and the wrestlers that are involved are going to be crazy. But the tournament is a standard tournament, but then there's a second chance match for someone else for the last person to qualify.
Hmm.
And even that is a nice change of things, not just like straightforward triple threat tournament, triple threat tournament. So I do wish that WWE would take on a different format of getting people qualified to be contenders. But I do got to run,
Yeah, you're
and I know I got a hard stop, but thanks for letting me join you guys. And yeah, I'm looking forward to hearing the rest of this.
you're
All
very
right, man.
welcome for letting you grace us with your presence.
All right, y'all. I'll see you in a sec.
I haven't seen it
Later.
though. So for me, man, like I'm starting to hate it. I'm starting to hate the triple threats because, like you say, it's so
So
obvious and
bad.
predictable. It's so predictable who's gonna win. Even though you look at the bracket, looking at the bracket for the IC women's title, I was like, man, all right, it definitely would be Dakota Kai or Lyra Valkyria or possibly Natalia. I'm too bad Marlon left before we get that point out. But those are the three that I see can win it. Hopefully, I'm cool with Dakota Kai or Lyra because those are the only two people that also just did the vignettes for. Like they didn't
Yeah.
do it for anyone else. They just did it for those two.
Yeah, it's
So
so true. God, they signposted the hell out of that. I think that's the final match.
yeah,
Uh, which is cool. I would rather have it be Dakota Kai, in my opinion, just because she's never. I don't think she's even held a singles belt
I
in
think so.
NXT.
I don't think so. Yeah.
Yeah, and I like her a lot, but I like both those characters, and I'm glad they are kind of pushing Lyra as much as they are.
Hmm.
Uh, the other thing is though too, it's like with the triple threat, the they have a roster that's deep enough to make a good tournament, but that not when you do the triple threat matches,
Yeah.
most of the time. Other than if you like basically kill Jade Cargill, and then like Bianca has to take herself out of the match. So like that's like I guess I kind of liked when they did that, but you could only do stuff like that so many times
Yeah. True.
without it being and like Raquel, it's like I shouldn't be able to predict, well, they're just gonna have Raquel get like Rhea's
Well,
gonna screw her over or something, probably.
see, I was thinking the possibility of Raquel versus Dakota next round. I think that would have been a good matchup because they got history together, and Dakota turned on Raquel. But we still got Rhea still because I think Rhea and Raquel got a match
Yeah,
Monday,
they got a match Monday.
which is weird. So when does she have her? a
It's the
tournament
week
match.
after, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, so and then I don't know, man. It feels like I don't need you to rush. We didn't waited so long for the titles for you guys to put the titles out. Then we can wait for you to do a decent tournament. It doesn't have to be done in 4 weeks. It feels like 4 or 6 weeks.
Ah, man, I kind of disagree a little bit on that because I feel like when you have one match per week, it's like, oh shoot, yeah, this tournament's still going on. You know what I mean? Where like, and I guess I look at this in a way that I'm kind of jaded with how they both promotions kind of treat women's wrestling. I
Mhm.
feel like they do it this way because they don't have two women's matches on the
Yeah,
show. And
yeah.
I like they showed with like Bianca and or like when they did that other tournament earlier in the year for
The
the
Queen of the Ring.
Queen of the Ring, they had
Yeah,
so many sick matches. Like Io and Lyra was sick. They had
yeah.
a lot of really good matches. And if you let these girls go, they're gonna like put on good matches. So
But I also think too, sometimes when they was doing the qualifying matches for stuff, they would put they would put the two worst people together. The match would go
yeah.
out there and it'd be a complete dud, and then they grade off of that. And so now it's like, oh well, we definitely don't want to have multiple women matches on the show because one might suck. And it's like, but no, if you pair them up properly, don't give us a match. I don't want to start throwing people on the bus, but don't give us a match between people that you know can't go out there properly and they have no aura. Say that's for like speed or something like that. You know?
Yeah, it's just that they're not over is more of the thing. Like,
Yeah.
and I don't want to be a dick, but it's like you could have more women's matches. I feel like they're going to be more over than any match Pete Dunne has had on Raw this year. And I like Pete Dunne,
Yeah.
but like he's something hasn't connected with the crowd. I think part of it's the character they have for him is terrible, where
Yeah.
he just cares about his name. It's like it's like the dumbest thing, and I don't. I hope he isn't the person who wrote this storyline because I actually do like him and I think he's a good wrestler. But
Yeah.
man, there's no pop like nothing. It's just it's not even like Karrion Cross is getting booed. Like people make fun of Karrion Cross and getting pops, and I know we're getting into him sooner
Yeah.
they used to, but he would get booed a lot. Like people would not like him at least. But yeah, I don't. They could have waited for the women's IC or they have the tournaments too close to each other too for the
Yeah.
women's. Like they should have done one soon as one's done, then do the other one. I think
Well,
maybe.
well,
Huh.
unless they're trying to crown the winner on Netflix.
Oh yeah, and then do the Saturday night smash. I guess but that's their own issues. For
Yeah.
you could also have do the way if you wait until Saturday night's main event and then you do the women's tournament where you have two matches
Yeah.
a Raw, then you can go into like then timing wise you would be fine.
Yeah.
But I guess they give them time off and everything. So it's just I think we're just really done with the triple threat match. This
Yeah.
is really
That's what it is. Yeah.
the main story with that. So um but yeah, what do you have you are you familiar with the Continental Classic, how they
I,
kind of
I
do that?
I've seen it before, yeah. That's around. So I no, I like the idea, the point system and stuff like that. I think it's a cool idea. So
And you have ties too, so that's like another factor
yeah,
that is kind of oh, time ran out. Because I
yeah,
feel like that would be real. They should have that more in wrestling because
yeah.
sometimes people are just evenly matched, and you're gonna.
But I mean, we have to get back to the point where WWE has to have care about records again. Win loss records has to mean something.
Yeah, they've been posting them a little bit. They were doing
Yeah.
that for a bit, but yeah, that's all I got for that though. I think it's interesting. There's so many tournaments going on right now, and it's like two women's tournaments, and then AEW has their Continental Classic thing going. But I mean, yeah, they don't even have a women's tournament, so I at least got to give WWE
WWE
some
prop.
credit, props on that. Except the lack of ingenuity with doing triple threats every time. So
Yeah. Um. No, so we mentioned the carrying cross. So that's what I want to talk about in my three count is carrying cross, man. Like, I mean, we said it multiple times on the show. Like, he's so underrated. Um, and he doesn't the little time that he get, he makes the most out of that time. But
Hmm.
also he's using social media to make content, to promote stuff that's going on, and so that's cool to see too, as well. And it's like, man, like we see the Craig Cross effect. I saw somebody talk about that earlier. And everyone that he's come encounter with, whether they had a friendship with another guy, they end up betraying that friendship
Hmm.
after dealing with Craig Cross. So I mean, that was cool to see with that. And it's I don't know, man. I want more for the dude. Because when we think about his win loss record, for example, like it
It's
isn't the best.
the worst. It's the
Yeah,
worst.
and it's like, dude, like he doesn't win anything. He just makes people turn on each other. But like this dude, he's great. He has all of the things that I think that a wrestler that you want someone to have on your roster, and he just isn't getting what I think he should get out of that for some reason.
I think um this may sound crazy. Everything that they wanted LA Knight to be, like with character and like
Mm-hmm.
promoting, like Karrion Cross is like, and it's different. He hasn't gotten as popular. I think he's getting kind of popular now. I think people are like actually
Catching on, yeah.
catching on and respecting. Um, he's also huge. So there's like a whole like monster like kind of
Mm-hmm.
thing with him as well, but he should be that's the one bad thing. You got the New Day who are probably going to get the tag belts, right?
Yeah,
Him and Miz, I'm all for them getting the tag belts.
yeah,
Like I like both them together is really good. They
yeah,
have
that's it.
really good. I like it even better than Miz and Truth,
Yeah, oh,
which
definitely.
like I thought was good, but it's gonna be crazy if Miz gets hot again with like another random person. But I think IC you can't give him IC title in my opinion, just because
Yeah,
it's actually yeah you could. I like Braun Breaker. I like him, but you could give him the IC title over Braun at some point, and Braun could be babyface fighting against him and all that stuff. I would actually be cool with that. Actually, that would be a good ass series because
I
of
think
his
so.
like comedy and banter and stuff. I think
Yeah,
both of them. I would be really interested to see them interact with each other. So you know what? I think we need to start it here. Him versus
Breaker,
Braun Breaker for IC. Maybe that's a Mania thing. So I think
maybe
he's earned it. Who else would you have Braun Breaker go against at Mania?
probably Sheamus.
I guess
Because they keep mentioning it, but I like Sheamus versus Karrion Cross. I like that.
maybe triple threat because I think Braun's better in triple threats.
Yeah, yeah,
And then you just
but
have Miz getting involved being a fool as well. Like you could have some weird stuff going on. Have Braun Breaker like double spear the freaking AOP.
just like for the life of me, I just don't understand how come Karrion Cross isn't hasn't been in a title picture for some reason.
Uh,
Like
it's well, they have him lose every feud. Like
yeah,
he was
but
feuding with AJ last year and he beat
Rey
him like
Mysterio,
one time maybe and then like lost the feud
yeah,
and AJ was like cold as hell. Like if you were going to have him beat someone it should have been AJ. And
he had Rey Mysterio,
he feuded
uh,
with Shinsuke also.
yeah, Shinsuke, Drew McIntyre, uh, the 3-5% and Bobby Lashley. Like he's had so many different feuds and lost every single one. You
The
know?
yeah, this has been the best his character's been because they've actually let him kind of be himself
Yeah,
too. So I will say his character was not connecting in all the other stuff.
yeah,
That's like the only thing I would say to defend. But now I think because of the Wyatt Six existing, he had to move away from being spooky,
yeah,
and now he's just like kind of a metal guy that's a tool, kind
yeah.
of like that's like kind of a bro, like just a weird kind of funny guy that's
He
like just
reminds me
weird.
of when you play Destiny and it's like Friday and you go to find the merchant and he's
Oh
just
yeah,
in the back corner somewhere and he's just creepy. He's a creepy
yeah.
dude. He just has guns, you know? And that's just reminds me of Karrion Cross, man. Like he's just back there just waiting. to do sinister things, just lurking.
I
And
want to see him do one of his finishers on Nikki Cross. He would do it. Like you could like that would fit into his character. Just be like, "Yo, you
yeah,
attacked my wife. It's game over."
yeah, yeah.
Cuz
No,
like yeah. Yeah, he needs more of a push.
yeah.
And he's you brought up such a good point with him on social media because I feel like he's who else on the roster is doing actually a good job on social media?
Especially
Mello.
well,
Mello's the only other one.
okay, so I don't watch him too much. Well, yeah, like, I saw some of his tweets, but everyone's using their social media for pictures or glamour shots or whatever. He's
Yeah.
using social media to for wrestling. You know, whether it was doing stuff with Santa Claus for Christmas, at the mall, like just crazy
Yeah.
stuff like that, or the random cryptic messages of him in a desert somewhere on a motorcycle in a World War II helmet driving around. Like he puts in amazing work, man, and I just feel like he just doesn't get the props that he deserves for some reason.
He's trying harder than a lot of people because I don't
Yeah,
really because he does more than even Mello with like because he has like all the videos and all that stuff
yeah,
and he's very creative. Um, but yeah, Mello's like banter game is pretty amazing on
yeah,
Twitter, but everyone else is pretty subpar in my opinion
yeah.
on
Except for Drew
Twitter.
McIntyre. Yeah,
Oh yeah. Sorry, Drew's the goat.
yeah,
But yeah, like most of the people are pretty bad. Even Cody's just he's kind of corny.
yeah. He posts
Uh
yoga stuff. He's like, come join the yoga session. It's tomorrow at 7 a.m. You
yeah.
know. Uh,
Yeah.
I got to actually I got a quick 10-4 since we
All
mentioned Drew
right.
McIntyre,
All right.
and then we can do your unboxing. All right, so since we had mentioned Drew McIntyre, and he came back at the end of Monday Night Raw. Uh, this is what I hate about being doing content and being content creators or whatever. Like you have to be the first one to get it out, your idea out or whatever, before someone else has the same idea, and then they think that you're buying from them. So I had the idea. I was talking to one of my guys at work, and it was like, man, like, what if we get a group of Seth Rollins, Drew McIntyre, Kevin Owens, um, all those guys, with two of the other three guys so far hate CM Punk.
Hmm.
Two of the three guys, well, all three guys hate Roman Reigns. That's the common bond between all three of them. Roman has made not necessarily Seth Rollins, but Drew McIntyre embarrassed him in his home country, Clash of the Castle.
Yeah.
You know, we saw what Roman did to with Kevin Owens for 4 years straight. Dude, I laughed so hard when he was going through just his past for Roman Reigns. It was hilarious. But I like the idea of the three of them together, and someone attacked Jey Uso. We don't know if it's Drew McIntyre or not. We saw what Drew did to Sami Zayn. It's only safe to assume that he possibly did attack Jey Uso as well.
Yeah.
So we get to the point now, like, well, Roman's all alone. Who's going to help Roman when the rest of these three guys take out his support? This would be the point where, and it's probably going to another theory of Roman will have to ask for help now because he didn't ask for help the first time around. They
Hmm.
just came. He's going to ask for help. He's going to ask for forgiveness because it's going to be these three guys, whether you call them, I've been noticing too, Seth Rollins, Titantron, interest just says revolutionary. Doesn't say revolutionary, visionary. Doesn't say all the stuff. It
Yeah.
just says revolutionary. So let's call him the revolution for now. So we say the revolution takes out bloodline. Roman has to come ask for help because he didn't ask for help last time. He didn't apologize. He wasn't remorseful or anything like that. We're going to get that because they've been trying to make an emphasis of the point that he hasn't apologized. Um, and I think we're going to finally get that Avengers Endgame scene where it's Roman by himself. And then he says, Roman on your left, like Falcon
Bro, if
James
they
do.
say that, I'm gonna forget. Laugh so hard.
But I'm
Yeah, I
getting
know
there.
what you
Something like
mean.
that, you know. Who's on the left, you know?
Oh
And
man.
I think that's what we come to. But I got Drew McIntyre, Kevin Owens, and Seth Rollins forming a group together.
That'd be a sick group. Um, if they take out all those people, who would Roman ask for help from?
Well, if you start taking the people out now,
Oh, by
by
Mania, they're fine. Yeah, they're
yeah,
not taking off people's legs with chainsaws or anything, so you can recover.
yeah,
Um, yeah, I'm good with that. And this group needs to be more violent
yeah,
than the Bloodline. I think that's the biggest thing they need to do is make Solo's group like kind of way more crazy.
yeah.
Um, but no, I like that crew, that combination of people. I like all those people.
Hmm.
Well, I like two of them more than the other, but I I don't even dislike Seth Rollins. It's just I don't like him that much either. So, but no,
Because
that's a cool crew.
because the last heel version of Seth Rollins that we really got was during the pandemic. I mean, he was heel versus Cody Rhodes, but we had the Monday Night Messiah, and it was a dud in my opinion because of the pandemic. And I think that
Mm,
he's probably better as a heel. And I
yes,
think that would have been a good character if it wasn't for the pandemic. And if Buddy Matthews didn't get injured too as well too. Because
that's
it was
true.
him, Buddy, and AOP at the time.
And AOP was actually kind of sick at that time.
Yeah. Yep.
I forgot Buddy was with him. Yeah, yeah, no, maybe it would have worked. Um, he's just a pretty like he's just an overall solid B plus kind of guy. You can plug and play. The fact that he's been a babyface with this annoying Joker character is
Hmm.
honestly impressive. I don't know how he got so many people like into him, but I was not one of them. So is that all you got for that,
Yeah,
Pierre?
this is all right. Yep.
All right, guys, we're gonna do my unboxing of I ordered this. Gosh, what was Money in the Bank? I must have ordered. I think they unveiled the
July.
briefcase like a month after. Yeah, I think it might have been August. I ordered this damn thing. Um, so yeah, I got. Obviously, it's not the Drew McIntyre briefcase since he cashed in the same exact day. Which that's a whole other story. But um, that was such a waste, in my opinion. I don't think that was.
So as you unbox, I'll just talk a little bit. I feel like this after WrestleMania has been the year of props. So the belts haven't really meant as much as they used to mean to me this year. You had Money in the Bank, that meant something. Punch break bracelet meant something. The Udo Fala
I
meant
guess
something. You know, like they put heavy emphasis on these themes, and the belts had kind of fell into the shadows, in my opinion. You know, like Cody Rhodes has had some battles for the championship, but no real solid like feuds, in my opinion, to really justify. Oh man, this dude's champion. Oh, we got it in there.
Ooh,
Is it shiny? Does it
man.
sparkle?
Oh man. I'm gonna look fresh with this thing. This is pretty nice. It wasn't that expensive either, to be honest.
How much?
Like I think it was like 140 or something. It's like about the same price Priest was. I don't even know how I opened this damn thing though. Oh, here we go. Yeah, so as you guys can see, we got the sparkles in here. Very nice.
Oh,
Um,
run the rim over there. That's cool.
yeah. So I got this blinged out. And then they got the strap too, so it's even going to be easier to carry around. Um, so I could put my planet's champion belt in here if I need to and carry it around like a purse. So I'm gonna be looking pretty sweet at Mania when I'm rocking this bad boy. Um, yeah, this actually of dumb purchases I made, this is one of the better
Mhm.
ones, I think. Uh,
Open it up.
that'd be funny if they have an actual contract in there. Yeah, no, they don't.
Oh man,
Uh, no,
put
there's
this
no
on.
contract.
Ah,
So that'd be funny though. Yeah, it just has like this that gives instructions, unfortunately.
is there something to do
Uh,
with how to open a briefcase?
huh?
How to open a briefcase?
Well, there's like a key thing too. So I guess if you want to be like top secret with it,
Oh,
so because yeah, they have like the number thing on here and stuff too.
oh, for the all of the lock, the code.
Yeah.
Okay.
So hold on, I'm trying to get this on here so I can wear it like a purse for you guys real quick too.
I
Looks
thought they
super.
put the instructions on how to open it inside of it, so you would have to open it to feel like.
That would be actually funny if you could not open it without the. Oh man, I'm gonna look super. Look at this. Oh
Because it
man,
was fancy.
got the bling on here too.
So you gotta get it out in the sunlight so it can
Yeah,
twinkle and
because
glisten.
it's not doing it justice. You know how
No.
many of these bling things are gonna fall off by the time Mania hits? I'm
So
definitely gonna.
how does the quality feel?
It feels pretty decent actually. Like I mean, the bling stuff. I wonder why it was so cheap. This is pretty like I could go on Amazon to be honest and just put these on here.
Okay.
Um, but I would say like the briefcase itself feels. I actually like it. It's similar to all the other ones. It feels the same, but I actually do like that you have the strap too, that you can kind of carry it around uh instead of having to walk because everyone else I see with them, they're carrying them around like
Oh yeah.
this and at a mania or something that's a pain in the butt. So
Yeah.
yeah, I mean you're also not walking around with something like a purse either. So I guess that's the one benefit, but I don't really care. So but
It's
yeah,
a
well
performance
that
center.
was that was my Tiffy in the bank briefcase. I'm gonna try to get it set up in the background here
Okay.
soon. Get that hung up there. But
I think
yeah, that's
Violet wants it. Violet wants that briefcase down.
oh yeah, she's sniffing it right now, huh? Yeah, yeah. Do you need this briefcase, huh, Violet? She's like scared of it. Come here. No, she wants no. She's just smelling it. Um, but yeah, that's all I got. You have anything else, Pierre?
No, man, that's it, man. Thank you guys for watching and tuning in. Make sure you guys hit a prettiest moonsault ever on that subscribe button.
Hell
You
yeah.
know, like, comment, give us some feedback, man. Check out all our different content. Man, until next time, adios.
See you later, guys. It's Tiffy time.